We can be of any help in making your life better with our pest and termite control services. Please do not hesitate to call us.
Whether it's quotes cheerfully provided over the phone or inspection results sent by email, Ecola is here to protect your home, health, and supplies from pests. Call 877-332-BUGS or online at termitelady.com.
Ecola, powerful termite and pest control, as gentle as a butterfly.
The information station with information about sports. AM 1440 and FM 106.3 KUHL.
Good morning, 7:32. Information now. Coming up, we'll check more news and, of course, latest on traffic and weather conditions. It is wet out there, folks, so it's been raining pretty good here the past maybe hour and a half or so. So, again, we've had reports of roadway flooding. This includes over near Santa Maria Way, Highway 101 northbound, and then also over near Camp Roberts. But, again, we've had quite a bit of reports of traffic collisions and basically just wet conditions out there, so please be safe. Well, it's time to talk food with our favorite grocery gal, Amy Goldsmith. Amy's helped to launch and grow some of the most well-known brands that many of us eat or at least see on the grocery shelves. She's a food industry insider and lives her life as a food finder, looking for the best new products and trends. You can follow Amy and direct message her any questions through Instagram at The Grocery Gal and TikTok at grocery.gal. And good morning and welcome back to Amy Goldsmith. Amy, we missed you last week.
Good morning, Ben. I missed you too.
We had some listeners call up and say, what happened to Amy? They're so used to having you on Thursday, so.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I had a work deadline and I had to focus.
That's what I told them. I said you were on assignment. It was very, very important that you got that done. So, but anyway, you are back. So we have some listeners who have questions and are waiting for the answers. So let's go. The first one is about tea. And I know that you're a tea drinker. Should we be drinking more tea? And what about green tea? Should we be drinking more of that?
That's a great question. I do drink tea. And in fact, I drink decaffeinated green tea daily. Sometimes, though, I get really crazy and I'll drink decaffeinated passion tea. But I know, living on the edge. But I do drink green tea. And there are countless studies on the benefits of tea. And these studies suggest there are a lot of benefits. For example, tea contains antioxidants, which can help fight cancer. It also may reduce your risk of a heart attack or stroke and can help protect bones and more. And there's different kinds of tea, and each has a different benefit. For example, white tea is super high in antioxidants, so it's known to help stave off cancer. Herbal teas don't contain caffeine, which is why they're known for their calming properties. And something like a peppermint herbal tea can soothe an upset stomach, or Rubio's tea can improve blood pressure and circulation. And green tea is exceptionally high in flavonoids that can help boost your heart health by lowering bad cholesterol and reduce blood clotting. And studies show this type of tea can, also help lower blood pressure, triglycerides, and total cholesterol. And other research has found that green tea has a possible impact on liver, breast, prostate, and colorectal cancers. And it's also been shown to be anti-inflammatory, and that keeps your skin clear and glowing.
So that gives you the radiant look that we know, Amy.
That's it, yeah.
And I was going to ask you, too, we didn't discuss this, but I was going to ask you, do people put sugar in their tea?
I mean, the idea is to get away from sugar, right?
Right.
So, often people, I think, they can put tea. Traditionally, when you're drinking tea with the queen, they use, sugar cubes. Or people will put honey in it as a sugar substitute. But ideally, you want to kind of get away from that and try and find a flavor that is enjoyable to you, so that you don't need to use any sort of sweetener or anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we should be drinking maybe more tea and green tea. There's something called, and I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right, so is it matcha?
That's right. Matcha is a form of green tea. And so matcha is a very fine, high-quality green tea powder that's made from the entire leaves of the tea bushes, and those bushes are grown in shade. And since it's the only form of tea, matcha, which the leaves are ingested, matcha contains even more antioxidants than regular green tea. And some have even said that 1 cup of matcha is equivalent to 10 cups of regular green tea.
Wow.
So matcha is just super dense, concentrated green tea. And you can find ready-to-drink matchas matcha tea in bottles. Sometimes it's an additive in smoothies. So you just have to look for it on the label.
All right, we're speaking to Grocery Gal Amy Goldsmith, 737 here on Information Now. So what about good old-fashioned black Lipton tea? Tell us about that.
Sure. So black tea is made from the same plant that's used actually to make green tea. However, the leaves are dried and fermented, and it gives that tea a darker color and richer flavor. But here's the difference. Black tea is really caffeinated, so it's important to monitor your intake. Now, there are green teas that are caffeinated as well, so you just need to watch the label. But when you pour that tea into your cup, you can benefit also from the flavonoids that green tea that combat inflammation and support healthy immune function. But you can also use black tea on minor cuts and scrapes and bruises to relieve pain and reduce swelling. And a black tea bath can also ease inflammation caused by like rashes or some other like skin condition or even like poison ivy. And I want to just mention, ready-to-drink teas from the store like Snapple and other might have added sugar that we just talked about and other ingredients. So it's not the same as using just plain old tea bags, whether it's black, herbal, white, or green. There's a drink called Ito-En. It's I-T-O-N, Ito-En, and it's a ready-to-drink green tea brand in the grocery store with nothing in it. It's delicious if you like green tea. It's usually found in the Asian aisle. Also, another trick is you can take a giant pitcher, put your favorite flavored tea bags in it, like the passion tea I was talking about, and put some water, let it sit in the sun, and then put it in the refrigerator to chill, and then you have like yummy sun-chilled iced tea.
Ah, pretty cool. So for me, I've tried tea, and I can't do the taste. The taste bothers me, but everything that you've said here, I think I'm going to need to give tea another try. Sounds good.
What are you drinking? Are you drinking just a plain black tea?
So the last time I tried a tea, it might have been something like chamomile or something like that. So maybe the green tea is the better way to go?
Well, chamomile is an herbal tea, and it's a calming tea, and it has a floral taste to it. Mm-hmm. It may not be strong enough for you, to be honest. I mean, in terms of flavor. So there are so many teas and different tea flavors. I mean, it actually can be overwhelming. So, I can help you. We can talk about kind of what you like, flavors that you like. Do you like something more vanilla? Do you like something more floral? And maybe we can figure out what might work for you.
Okay, we got to try that because I'm missing all the health benefits you've been talking about here, and I definitely are interested in those. So here's
the green tea is a really easy way to do it. I mean, to be honest, I take hot water. I put 2 tea bags in like a thermos, and I sort of sip on it all day, and then just sort of replenish it. The water, and I know that I'm getting benefits from green tea all day.
Okay, got to try that, that's for sure. So here's another question here, Amy. Why does Swiss cheese have holes in it? If anybody knows, it would be you.
I mean, okay, so those holes are actually called eyes. So if a cheese doesn't have holes in it, or like some sort of Swiss cheese has smaller holes, you really can't see the holes, it's actually called a blind cheese. So the holes are actually called eyes. And so like many other cheeses, the Swiss cheese is made with a cow's milk that contains bacteria, and that's what helps convert the milk into a solid. But in Swiss cheese, there's an additional bacteria called P. shermani for short. I can't pronounce the long name of it. But and that particular bacteria produces carbon dioxide. And because Swiss cheese is made at a low temperature, around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and the cheese is soft and malleable, so as the bacteria grows, the gases in it end up creating those round openings. Think of like blowing a bubble with chewing gum. As you blow air from your lungs, the pressure forces the gum into a circle, and the bubble eventually pops to the air pressure from your lungs or the atmosphere. So when the bubble has formed inside a hunk of warm cheese, and then that cheese is cooled, the hole stays in place, and now the cheese has eyes.
Huh, didn't know that.
Yeah, it takes about 4 weeks for the eyes to form. And in total, it takes about 6 weeks to make Swiss cheese, and then it's aged traditionally about an additional 2 months before it's sold. Some people think that the eyes were actually from like hay remnants that caused the hole. So people who believe that, but now that we know that cheese is made in factories, we know that it's from the carbon dioxide.
All right, setting the record straight there. So here's another one. A lot of people enjoy Cheetos. I would be one of those. So what is it that makes when you eat the Cheetos that makes your fingers turn orange? We've got to know this.
Okay, so there's actually a name for that.
Yeah.
It's not Cheeto dust or Cheeto residue. It's called Cheetle.
Cheetle, like
It's
Don,
called
like Don Cheetle, right?
Like Don Cheetle, yeah. Spelled differently, but yeah, Cheetle. Yes, it's called Cheetle. So that orange residue is called Cheetle. And the Cheetle is a combination of red dye 40 and yellow dye 6.
Wow, you got it down to the numbers right there. That's cool.
Yeah, it's not the best. And if you're wondering if there is cheese in Cheetos, it is actually a cheddar cheese flavoring that's made from cheddar cheese. So it's a flavoring. Yeah.
All right, interesting.
Yeah, so
I was
Yeah.
looking at something on Facebook here, and there was a lady. She had some kind of contraption. She put all the Cheetos in this contraption. These were the puffed up Cheetos, and like she was taking the air pressure out of this container. And by the time she got done, these were like, they weren't puffy anymore. When she took them out, they were like, those kind, I guess the unpuffy Cheetos. By the time she got done with it, is weird.
Right, the crunchier, like more dense
Yep.
ones. Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So our last question is about soup. Are there soups you can buy with lower sodium, and is it better or healthier to make your own soup?
But we've been all over the store with
Yes,
these
we
questions
have.
today. The chip aisle, the tea aisle. Yes, there are many, many low sodium soups on the market. In fact, there's so many. It's wonderful. And there's also low sodium stock, the chicken stock, beef stock, or vegetable stock too. So there's so many low sodium soup options. Progresso has low sodium. Amy's has low sodium soup. I mean, there's just a ton. It should say low sodium on the front, but you need to turn it around and read the label because low sodium may not be so low if you're truly on a restricted low sodium diet. Soup has a lot of salt in it for preservation purposes. But to answer your question, yes, if you make your soup at home, you can certainly monitor the amount of sodium you put in it. You can monitor what kinds of vegetables and any extras that you put in it. You don't need to add sugar. And you don't need to add as much salt because you're not canning it for a grocery store shelf. So, yes, it's healthier to make your soups at home. Certainly it's not as convenient. It is fun, and you can make a ton and freeze it and pull it when you want it, and you're able to control the amount of sodium and other items in there. But, again, if you're just buying it off the shelf, double check how much is in a serving in a can or in the box, and then just check the sodium levels and make sure that it's still okay for you.
Yep. Read those labels, as you say, right?
Read those labels. Really important.
Yep. That's what I do all the time. Matter of fact, we make our own soups all the time at the house, and that's really a great way to do that. So, and kind of looking at the weather forecast for the next few days, it might be a good soup day, I think. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can pull out, roast the cauliflower and then put it in a blender with low sodium vegetable stock or chicken stock, and you have cauliflower soup. It's delicious.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. Well, that'll keep us warm. By the way, you can follow Amy and direct message or any questions through Instagram at The Grocery Gal and TikTok at grocery.gal. Amy, great to have you back, and we look forward to our next visit with you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right.